Hello and welcome here to Talk SCB and welcome here to the preview of Barcelona against Juventus. Champions League football is back this season and we do kick off with Game 1 in Group D with Barca against Juventus at the Camp Nou. So welcome here to the preview of that game, which is sponsored by OneFootball, as all of my previews and reviews are this season. So a big thank you to them for all their help. And a quick stat from their app, of which the link is down below. 55% of the people of the 78,000 who voted on their app so far say that Barcelona will win tomorrow. So if you do have the app, make sure you're voting whether Barcelona win or not. My prediction is coming up later on, but I think you've got a sneaky suspicion of what I might be predicting in tomorrow night's game. But the game itself kicks off at 8:45 local time, and you can see here where the game will kick off, where you are in the world. Olympiacos will face Sporting Lisbon in the other tie in this group. That game will be taking place at home in Greece for Olympiacos. So those two will be battling it out. So will Barcelona and Juventus, two heavyweights of the European game. And both of them are coming into this match on very, very good form. Both teams currently lie top of the league in their respective countries. Barcelona with 3 out of 3 league wins so far. A 2-0 home win on the opening weekend against Real Betis, followed up by a 2-0 away win at Alaves. 5-0 on the weekend against their local rivals, Espanyol. Fantastic win at the Camp Nou. 9 goals scored in the league in total over the 3 games, 0 conceded yet for Ernesto Valverde's side. Juventus, though, have also been impressive. 3 wins out of 3 for them. Also, they're currently top of the Serie A on goal difference. They won 3-0 at home against Cagliari, 4-2 away against Genoa, and they won 3-0 on the weekend, keeping a clean sheet and scoring a few goals in the process against Chievo. And like Lionel Messi, who is top goal scorer in La Liga with 5 goals, Paulo Dybala is also the top goal scorer in Serie A. He started the season really, really well for Juventus. He has 5 goals during his opening 3 matches. Now, in terms of team news ahead of tomorrow night's game, things are looking much more favourable for Barcelona, with Sergio Roberto expected to return to the squad to face Juve. He missed the game at the weekend against Espanyol with a very slight knock. Arda Turan, though, won't be fit to take part in this game, but that's the only injury concerns that Barcelona have altogether. Juventus, though, is a completely different story. They are very much struggling at the moment with injuries to key players. Chiellini, Mandzukic, Khedira, Cuadrado, Marchisio, all of those will not play any part in tomorrow night's match. So it's safe to say that Juventus have definitely got some injury problems and they will be definitely depleted coming to the Camp Nou tomorrow, which may leave them in a very difficult situation, particularly at the centre of defence. Because they have had a pretty tough summer, Juve, and I think particularly that reason it is going to be difficult for them, at centre-half, especially with Chiellini injured. They lost Bonucci to AC Milan in the summer, they lost Dani Alves to PSG on a free transfer, so the defence this summer really has been taken to pieces, to be perfectly honest with you, and Chiellini's injury could be a real boost for Barcelona tomorrow. Bearing in mind, of course, that the last time Juve visited the Camp Nou, it was a 0-0 draw, and Juve's defence was absolutely unmovable. They were absolutely dominant, they were really, really structured, fantastically defensively, and I don't quite see that as much this season. Allegri's got a job on his hands there. He's obviously lost a few players this summer. They brought a few in as well, and they do have a lot of quality going forward. The likes of Paulo Dybala is an outstanding talent. Gonzalo Higuain is there, of course. Brought in Bernardeschi from Fiorentina as well to help with their attacking play. But of course, to be fair to them, we haven't had a great summer either. We've lost Neymar, a very big loss in our squad. We haven't really spent our money fantastically well, but I think the players that have come in, the likes of Nelson Semedo, has settled in really, really well. He started well in his Barcelona career, but that is the big question, isn't it? Will our big money signing start tomorrow? Will Ousmane Dembele play from the start against Juventus? That is the biggest talking point. So let's have a little look at the team prediction for tomorrow. As you can see here, it is my gut feeling. What I feel deep down is that Dembele will not be starting tomorrow's game, and the reasoning for that, I feel, is because you look at Juve's team, you look at the players they're missing. It's the first Champions League game. If this was a knockout game, I would tell you it's a completely different story. I would say that you start your best team, whatever happens, you win this game. It doesn't matter, you take the risks. But it's not. It's a group stage match. It's the first game of the Champions League. Of course you want to go out there and win it. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But what you don't want to do is throw Dembele in at the detail. Now, I know he's expensive. I know that he's a very expensive player and he's got a lot of talent. But what you don't want to do is, if he's not 110% ready, don't just throw him into the lion's den. Ease him in. Deulofeu has been doing a decent job. He's been working for the team. His positioning has been good. He's working very, very hard on that right-hand side, and he's been accommodating Messi and Suarez very, very well. So I think it wouldn't hurt to start with Deulofeu and bring Dembele on later, like we saw against Espanyol. Like then, he could come on against a tiring team, a tiring defence, and cause real problems with his pace and his runs in behind. So I think it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for Dembele to start from the bench, just so you don't throw him in, because if you did start him and maybe he had an injury or maybe he didn't play as well as maybe we expect, the pressure might start getting to him. You could have a bit of criticism from the media, of course, which are not very friendly in Spain. So I wouldn't go throwing Dembele in right from the start if he's not 100% ready. Now, we haven't seen him in training. We haven't seen him out there for a sustained period right now to judge whether he is match fit and match ready for a game of this magnitude. Only the person who has seen that is Ernesto Valverde, and he did speak earlier on in his press conference. He said Dembele has been training very, very well, and he's told me that he feels good. He said if I start Dembele tomorrow, it's because he's doing very well in training. So Valverde not really giving anything away. We're going to have to find out and wait and see tomorrow what decision he makes. But I just think Dembele, it might be a game too soon for him. If he'd had a start in La Liga before this, if he'd played the whole game against Espanyol, I'd certainly be sitting here saying he's definitely going to start the game. But I'm just not quite sure right now. If he does start the game and if he plays well, fantastic. It'll be great to see him out there. I'm really looking forward to once again seeing him in a Barcelona shirt. But I just don't want to rush him. I don't want to put too much pressure on him too soon. If we draw this game, it wouldn't be the end of the world. We can redeem ourselves, but of course we are going out there to win the game, absolutely no doubt about that, and that is why I see Iniesta starting. I think Rakitic will start alongside him very well against Espanyol. You notice the difference in shape at the top of the pitch here. I've changed things around on the graphic a little bit because I think we're going to see Messi once again in that central position. We've seen Suarez playing just ahead of him, you know, he's more advanced in the field, but Suarez has been sort of drifting out wide at times when Messi is operating in that false nine role. Deulofeu can play quite easily on that right hand side, and whether it's Deulofeu or Dembele starting, both of them are very much accustomed to playing on the right. So I think we'll see Messi in a more central position where he's been so effective in the league so far. I did a video on him with the false nine role, and I really do enjoy watching him there. He's very effective in and around the area, and the closer that you can get Messi to the opposition goal, you will always cause problems. You'll always see goals, assists, and match-winning moments. So that's where you want him in the big games, and we want him to have a really big effect against Juventus on Tuesday night. And if we're looking at previous meetings between the two clubs, of course, tomorrow night we will absolutely be out for revenge for what happened back in April in the Champions League quarter-finals. We were eliminated at the hands of Juventus. They absolutely blitzed us at the Juventus Stadium 3-0 thanks to a Paulo Dybala brilliant performance from him. And then at the Camp Nou, like I said earlier on, we were unable to score, we were unable to create. Juve were very, very strong even when they came to the Camp Nou, and we couldn't manage any Champions League heroics in that game. We did get a little bit of pride back though in pre-season. Back in July, we played them during our US tour. Neymar was the man who scored twice on that day. We won 2-1. So definitely going to be trying to look into win this game. You know, we want to try and get the 3 points early on in the group because, like I said before, it's very, very important that we start this group well. It's important that we ease ourselves into it and get that confidence and momentum going. We started in the league really, really well under Ernesto Valverde. The two games that we played against Real Madrid, though, are still in our mind. The Super Cup matches, we don't know how much sort of motivation and real drive went into those games, but at the end of the day, we did lose them against good opposition. So now what we've got to do is prove ourselves against the very European elite. Juventus are a very good side, whether they're missing key players or not. They've still got a very strong squad. And at the Camp Nou tomorrow night, we've got to be on our game. We've got to be motivated. The crowd have got to get behind the team. And we have to make sure that we start our Champions League campaign in the best way possible. Keep building that momentum under Valverde. I hope that we're strong at the back once again. And I am going to go with a 3-1 prediction to Barcelona. I think the Chiellini will be a massive miss for Juventus tomorrow. Their defence has already taken a number of hits, like I mentioned, throughout the summer. The loss of Alves and Bonucci will be a big miss to them. So I think we've certainly got it in our locker to win 3-1. I think Lionel Messi right now is in an outstanding period of form. He's looking so good in and around the area. He's looking so dangerous in front of goal. And when Messi is in that kind of mood, there are very, very few teams, if any, in the world that can stop him. So I think if Lionel Messi can receive the ball in and around the box on Tuesday night, we've got a real chance here of producing another memorable occasion in the Champions League. I think we're going to win this, and I think in the end we can really get on top of Juventus and win this well. So leave your match predictions down below, guys. What do you think the score is going to be? What do you think is going to be the starting lineup? What is your answer to the big question that's being asked? Will Dembele start in this game? That is the big question. Let me know your thoughts down below, guys. And just before I leave you guys, another quick update on Benedito's vote of no confidence motion. Tomorrow night will be a very, very key night for Benedito. We haven't heard any further update from the other day when he said that he had 3,000 signatures in his vote so far. Tomorrow tomorrow will be massive for that. There's expected to be around 98,000 people at the Camp Nou tomorrow for tomorrow's game. So it's going to be absolutely massive that he gathers once again a good number of his signatures for his vote, of which he needs 16,570. So I would expect another update from Benedetto after that game to see how many signatures that he's currently on and how close he is to completing that first stage of his very, very important motion. So leave your thoughts on the game down below, guys. I'll see you tomorrow with a lot more videos in the build up to that game, looking at the lineup when it's announced, and of course following the game I'll have a review and we can have a look at some individual performances once again like we did in the Espanyol game. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys, but until then, as always, Vesca el Barça!